on the outcome of that project. But maybe you should also be trying to understand what the outcome of that person who you're trying to get a decision from, like what outcome do they want in their life or their career? If you know they want a promotion, then maybe you offer recommendations that are going to be slightly different than someone who's not interested in the promotion, who's interested in certain, who just the status quo. Like, so understanding what the desire, the want is of the person you're working with.
So you just stepped into a big area of concern for me. If someone told me that their goal was to be promoted, the first thing I would say to them was set that aside. That is a goal that will pervert your performance. So when someone comes to me and says, "You're a leader, teach me how to be a leader," the first thing I say is, don't focus on being a leader. As soon as you focus on being a leader, you've already compromised your ability to be impactful as a leader. So let me explain that. Most people view leadership being out in front. If you're committed to being the person who's out in front, but you want to be able to take responsibility for outcomes, you may not be the person in any given moment that is most capable of actually facilitating that outcome. So if you're committed to being out in front, the leader, you may be compromising your ability to actually produce the outcome you want to be associated with. So the first thing is forget about being a leader and instead focus on being responsible. Okay. So once you decide that you're going to be responsible, everything starts to change. And then I fuse that with a notion of humility. Now, a lot of people, because it's the way we've been raised in this society, see humility as sort of looking down at your feet and saying, "Oh, shucks, man, that wasn't nothing," right? It's a disposition. But I actually say, no, that's not the same, right? If you want to be responsible for outcomes, there's a certain ambition that comes along with that. You can't then step back and say, I'm going to deliberately dial myself down so somebody else has a shot.
Yeah.
It's inconsistent with creating optimized outcomes. So instead, my version of humility is not being self-deprecating, but recognizing the valuable contributions that others can make and measuring that appropriately and fusing that together with what you can do. Because sometimes you lead from behind. And that's the best way. But if you're hung up on the image of being a leader, you're going to make mistakes and compromise the quality of outcomes that you can be associated with.
Hello, everyone. This is Alex Tremble from GPS Leadership Solutions. And if you found this last interview to be awesome, spectacular, and actually you benefited from it, let me tell you, this is only the tip of the iceberg. Visit the alextrembleshow.com, information below in the description, and that's where you'll find the full uninterrupted interview. And I'm telling you, there's so much great content you'll hear from this past leader, as well as all the other leaders we've already interviewed. So remember, don't just look back, reach back. If there's someone who you think will benefit from this interview or any of the other interviews, make sure you share it with them. Click the like, click the subscribe. And as I always like to end all my sessions, stay strong, stay positive, and definitely stay moving.